If we exercise that democratic right and then you go and mess it up the way they are threatening to do, this country will be on fire like it was in 2007. And we don't fear saying it.
The country will be on fire if the will of the people will be diverted in the elections of 2027. That is what Edwin Sifuna, the Secretary General for ODM party, is saying, and he said this on a Senate. Like they do say, time is the healing factor to every wound. Sifuna is just echoing the similar words that Rigathi Gachagua did say some time before and caused an uproar, just in a different way, because Gachagua said that what happened in 2007 will be a Christmas party come 2027 if the will of the people will be diverted. And Sifuna is saying the National Cohesion and Integration Commission is keeping quiet when leaders aligned to the Ruto's regime keep saying that even if Ruto loses, they are going to find a way of stealing the vote so that they ensure he is securing presidency for the second term. So Sifuna did say that issues of forced disappearances, and then again you are being told that your vote doesn't matter, is something that should never be heard of in a democratic state of like. Anyway, what we think about it. Anyway, let us listen to what Edwin Sifuna speaks about.
Honorable Speaker, the reason we insist that we need to build a country that works for all of us is that no one is safe until everybody is safe. You have heard from Nandi, you have heard from Marsabit, the senator for there, also saying that senior civil servants are also being disappeared. And this is why we must resolve this question for all of us. Honorable Speaker, lastly, in 2007, I was one of those young people who were saying one term to Kibaki, because we wanted him to go home. And we voted to take Kibaki home, Honorable Speaker. We were very shocked when we were told that our vote does not matter, that someone sitting somewhere can actually alter the results at the ballot. Honorable Speaker, there is very irresponsible talk from leaders telling us that in 2027, if the votes for William Ruto will not be sufficient, they will steal for him. And the NCIC has just kept quiet. With that history of 2007, Honorable Speaker, the precursor of the violence was in the interference with the will of the people. And I want to join those who are saying, Honorable Speaker, because we've been told to wait for a democratic opportunity to remove the current government. If we exercise that democratic right and then you go and mess it up the way they are threatening to do, this country will be on fire like it was in 2007. And we don't fear saying it. So, Honorable Speaker, if the NCIC, the IEBC that has just recently been sworn in, cannot even summon these leaders, because as I understand the law on election offenses, you cannot be saying that.
Well, there seems to be confusion in the Orange Democratic Movement Party, that is the ODM headed by Raila Amolo Odinga. This came evident in an interview in Citizen TV between, Even Okwara, who was interviewing Edwin Sifuna as the SG for ODM party. She did ask Sifuna, is ODM headed in the right direction with the current arrangements? Like, we know there is an MOU that was signed up between Raila Amolo Odinga and William Samoei Ruto that is creating the broad-based government. And among the arrangements that there shall be no extrajudicial killings, no more lives will be lost. And still, we saw lives being lost. And at one point, Sifuna came and said, I'm not part of these broad-based government. The reasons he cited was because already the agreement that was in the MOU were already been broken. He says that as a party is weak, they can compromise on tactics, but the values that they stand for, especially on Article 37, remain intact, and that is why currently if he is asked about the position of ODM, it is very difficult to state it, because they are struggling to explain it actually, because some senior people in government, after him as the SG says something, then they go and say a contrary opinion to what he's already said, and even he's asking, what is ODM without street protest, without Article 37? Anyway, let us watch and listen to Edwin Sifuna on this interview.
Is ODM headed in the right direction with the current arrangement and the current status?
Let's just say that there's a lot of confusion. I have told my party leader that there was a time when it was very easy to be SG of ODM. You would wake me up in the middle of the night and ask me anything, because what we agreed is that you can compromise on tactics, but you can never compromise on your values. There is things that ODM stands for. If you woke me up in the middle of the night and ask me my position on devolution, my position on rights and Article 37, for instance, I would give you an answer straight away. But right now, there is a lot of confusion, because I come to these shows and to the media and in those public barazas, and I struggle to explain that we're the same political party. Then you will see a member of ODM who maybe used to hold a premier position, now is a cabinet secretary, say the exact same opposite. It leaves our support very, very confused. And I want to apologize to members of ODM today for all the confusion we as a leadership have caused, because it is very difficult now to discern the position of ODM on major issues. And that is the biggest sadness, because it should be easy. It should be easy. When a member of ODM proposes a bill saying, oh, we want to limit the rights under Article 37. What is ODM without Article 37? What is ODM without street protests? What is ODM? ODM is a movement that has been built on the strength of the people. So you cannot be the ones telling us today that, oh, you are sponsoring a bill to limit the rights under Article 37. We swore to this constitution. And that is where confusion comes in for people like me, because I now can no longer pronounce myself authoritatively on the position of a party when it comes to the rights under Article 37. You know? And that is where the difficulty begins.
Last week, we had Kimani Ichung'wah, the MP for Kikuyu constituency, attacking Rigathi Gachagua through his wife, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, by patching cheating allegations with another bishop. And you see, he took this personal into the podium, and even questions are arising like, if the president is telling parents to teach their kids well, to help them to behave in a good mannerism, but what about the leaders? Because the kids, the society, will emulate what you leaders are bringing in the public mirror. So Kenyan women have called out Kimani Ichung'wah for his utterances, saying that he should apologize, and that personal tackle wasn't in good taste. It is a disrespect to the religion. It is the disrespect to the women of Kenya. Let us watch and listen to them as they put in their grievances.
If Kimani Ichung'wah does not apologize to we the women of this country, and if he's not arrested, he's only going to be confirming what we, the opposition, have been saying, and we as DCP party have been saying, that this government has become blind to anything that is done by anybody associated with government, but they want to open their eyes and bring false accusations against anybody who is not in support of their regime. If Kimani Ichung'wah and his utterances are not going to be called out by women leaders in that government, we are going to be confirming one thing, that the Kenya Kwanza regime has no respect to women, Kenya Kwanza regime has no respect to our mothers, and Kenya Kwanza regime has no respect to the family as a unit of our community. To anybody who is going to be a woman in 2027, who is going to vote, we cannot allow leaders like Kimani Ichung'wah to be voted back.
The Kenya Kwanza regime is sinking, weighed down by its own arrogance, political blunders, and a wave of arrests and intimidation targeting dissenting voices. No one will come to its aid. The people of Kenya are awake, and history will not be kind to a government that chooses oppression over dialogue.
During the recent nationwide demonstration, over 25 cases were documented by FIDA Kenya and Usikimia Group. Cases of sexual assault, including rape, gang rape, molestation against women and girls were reported, and the government has said nothing so far.
Well, after all that, where is our country heading into? Which direction is our country taking? From the very first statement whereby Sifuna says the country will be on fire, shall the will of the people be diverted in 2027, just as they say the will of the people was diverted in 2007, when they knew actually that they are winning the elections and they were to take Kibaki home, just to find out that elections have been stolen and Kibaki has been bestowed power upon again for a second term, and the country broke into violence, and that is what he is fearing might happen again, and the rift in ODM, because they seem not to be speaking one voice until now. The supporters of the ODM party are so confused. What's your take about it and the personal tackles that are coming in as Kimani Ichung'wah is now attacking Rigathi Gachagua using his wife, Pastor Dorcas? Give me your take in the comment section below, because personally for me, I feel that is something that should be condemned on the highest terms possible. Anyway, if you love content of this nature and you're watching from our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press notification button, so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Ahmed Halif is my name for the Unscripted Talks here in Dab Radio. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dab Radio ndio mpango mzima.